Good morning, everybody. How are you? Is everybody happy? Happy as well as safe at your homes. Dear students, myself SP sir from Shubhraj Singh Student Academy. Once again, welcome to my YouTube channel. Dear students, today that is on 21st September 2020, today in our 11th Business Studies lecture as chapter number 7, that is sources of business finance. Sources of business finance. Dear students, in my last lecture, I had covered retained earnings. We have discussed the meaning as well as features of retained earnings. Today, our next topic after retained earnings, we are going to study about borrowed funds. Borrowed fund. And in this, we are going to learn the different sources of borrowed funds. Number of sources are there of borrowed funds. Say for example, trade credits, public deposits, loans and advances from banks and financial institutions, issue of debentures, bonds, mutual funds by the companies. So like this, number of sources are there for raising borrowed funds. Let's start one by one. In today's lecture, I would like to cover the trade credit, as well as, if the time permits, public deposit I will start, and if possible, the features of public deposits will be covered. Totally depends upon your cooperation as well as the time limits. Okay, so let's start with the today's first subtopic, that is trade credit. As I told you earlier, that borrowed fund, in this there are number of sources. So subtopic, the first source is trade credit. Dear students, this trade credit is short term borrowing, short term borrowing, short term borrowing, or we can say that short term finance. Instead of saying short term borrowing, we will say short term finance, short term finance. Students, now first of all, meaning of trade credit. In a very simple English, I am going to explain you. Listen it very attentively. So everybody attend here please. Meaning of trade credit. Trade credit, it is a type of facility which is given by suppliers of different commodities to the manufacturers of the goods, or even manufacturer also can give the trade credit to his buyers. Now the question is, what is the exact meaning of trade credit? Trade credit is nothing but the credit given by seller to the buyer. Means what? Suppose I am seller and you are buyer. So I am selling you goods on credit. Means you will make payment in future date. We will decide some date that by this date you make payment. That date may vary from 1 month to 6 months, like this. That depends upon us, that what is agreed in between us. So trade credit refers to an arrangement where a manufacturer is granted credit from the supplier of raw materials, input, spare parts, etc. The supplier allow their customers to pay their outstanding balance within a credit period. Generally, the duration of trade credit is of 3 to 6 months, and thus it is a short-term finance facility. Dear students, as I told you, it totally depends upon that how it is agreed between that seller and buyer. Or like in your books given, simply we can give the meaning of trade credit, that trade credit, it is granted by suppliers of the raw materials, inputs, spare parts, etc. to the manufacturer. It is same which is given in your book. The time period for the trade credit varies from 3 to 6 months. As it is decided, generally it is 3 to 6 months. Means I am manufacturer, say for example I am manufacturer, you are supplier of raw material. So you will give me the trade credit for 3 months or 6 months, 4 months, 5 months, 3 to 6 months, like that, whatever we have decided. Okay, so I will have to make payment on that date only. Only thing is that the buyer will issue the promissory note to the seller. In this example, you are a supplier of raw material, I am manufacturer, I am purchasing raw material from you. So I will issue promissory note. Promissory note in the sense a note in which the day, date, time and the place of transaction, the amount of transaction will be mentioned in that note, and I will be agree that on this date I will make you payment. I will accept it and sign it. So in future, suppose if I denied payment or I am unable to make payment, so on the basis of that promissory note, you, that is a supplier, can take legal action against me. Got it? The meaning of trade credit. Dear students, let's see merits of trade credit. Readily available, flexible, and no flotation cost. So readily available, merits of trade credit, merits of trade credit. The first point is given readily available. Readily, it is readily available. As we discussed just now in this example, so you must have understood that how trade credit is given. For getting a trade credit, no extra effort, nothing is to be done. By the way, the availability of trade credit depends upon the relation maintained by the firm, reputation of the firm, image of the firm, the market conditions, etc., etc. So we say that normally the trade credit is readily available to the manufacturers from the suppliers of their raw materials. Next merits which is given is flexible. There are no rigid rules. Flexible, as the heading suggests itself, it is flexible. Flexible. There are no rigid rules regarding trade credit. At the beginning itself, while explaining the meaning itself, I told you, as those sellers and buyers will be agreed regarding trade credit, all the terms, conditions, etc., as agreed between you and me, that is buyer and sellers. I am buyer, you are supplier, so as we agreed, that will be that rule and regulations. Okay, so there is no such rules and regulations. Nothing is written anywhere or mentioned that trade credits will be given like this. Nothing. It is flexible. According to our that adjustment, we can decide. Next one is no flotation cost. flotation cost involved in arranging the trade credits. Third point of merit, I am writing over here, no flotation cost. No flotation cost is involved in the trade credits. So like this, total 3 points of the merits: readily available, flexible, and no flotation cost. Normally trade credits are not asked in exam as a short note or separate questions. You will find objective questions very rare on the trade credits. Okay, so now the limitations, that is increase in price and legal actions. Limitations of the trade credit, just two the limitations given, that increase in price. I am not writing anywhere, but listen to me. Increase in price. Sometimes what happens, the person who is giving trade credit may increase the price. Suppose I am seller and you are buyer and I am giving you trade credit. So it may happen that I am charging higher prices. Means, suppose I gave you the trade credit for 3 months. So I would charge you high prices. Means I am keeping in mind that you are going to make payment after 3 months, and that's why I am charging you high prices today. Many times it happens that you must have heard or observed, or you have that come across, that sometimes it happens that if you're taking goods on credit, then you have to pay this much, and if you're paying cash, means on the spot payment, then you can take away the goods at this price. So it also may happen that the person who is giving trade credit may charge higher prices. And second limitation, which I have already covered while explaining the meaning, that legal action. Legal action can be taken if the buyer is not making payments. On the basis of the promissory note, he can file complaint against the buyer. So it was all about trade credit. We have started the today's lecture with borrowed funds, and we are discussing the different sources of borrowed funds. And in that, the first one I started that trade credits. I told you that it is a source of short-term finance. Short-term, generally it is 3 to 6 months. So let's start the second source of borrowed funds. First, let me rub this. Yes, dear students, the second one is public deposits. Public deposits. Public deposits. Still, our main topic is same, borrowed funds, and in that first one we discussed that trade credits, and next one we are going to study, that is public deposit, borrowed fund, medium term financing. Dear students, as in case of trade credit, I told you it is a short term financing. So public deposit, it is a medium term financing. It is medium term finance. Medium term finance. First of all, we will see the meaning of public deposits, then we will proceed with this. Attend here, what is the meaning of public deposit? Public deposit is nothing but companies, public companies accept deposits from public, and companies pay fixed rate of interest to the stipulated period or mentioned period, that is called as public deposits. Like household means general public, you and me, we all deposit our savings, whatever we have saved, we deposit it into bank, and bank pays us interest. Saving deposit account, you know very well, bachat khata, you are familiar with that. So people deposit their money into bank under savings bank account, and bank pays them fixed rate of interest. Likewise, over here, instead of bank, company is there, that is a public company. So company is accepting deposits from public. These circles which I have drawn, you assume it is public and it is company. So company is accepting deposits from public, and company pays fixed rate of interest against those deposits to the public. It is called as public deposits. Same, I told you that it is same like the people deposit their money into bank and bank pays them interest. So over here, instead of company, there is instead of bank, there is company. Public deposits refers to unsecured deposits invited from the public. A company wishing to invite public deposits places an advertisement in the newspaper. Any member of the public can fill the prescribed form and deposit money with the company. Dear students, in the meaning itself, it is given like that. Now I think the meaning is clear to all of you. So now the question is how the companies accept public deposits. It's very simple. The company which wishes, the company which want to accept public deposits, they will give advertisement. They will give advertisement in the newspaper, and by reading that advertisement, any member of the public, by filling the prescribed form, can submit, can deposit their money, that whatever they want to deposit with the company, and against the deposit the company will pay fixed rate of interest. Means what? Attend please. The entire discussion till now of the public deposits I am going to frame now. Meaning, once again I am going to summarize that what is public deposit in a very simple way. Suppose I am company ABC Company Limited. You are public. So I will accept deposits from you. From you means from public. So on the deposits which I have accepted from you, I will pay you the fixed rate of interest. By the way, in this advertisement which will be given in the newspaper, in that advertisement all the questions of the public will have the answers. Means the company will mention in this advertisement that we are going to accept minimum this much public deposit, and this is the maximum limit, and for these many period we are accepting, we will pay you this much percent of fixed rate of interest, etc., etc. And as I told you that after reading that advertisement, any member from the society can deposit their money with the company for earning fixed rate of interest. Got it, everybody? So now the meaning is clear to all of you. Let's see the features of public deposit. First, let me rub this. Features of public deposits, meaning we have covered. So features of public deposits we are going to study. Dear students, the first point of features is unsecured, and the next one is finance of working capital. Features of public deposits. So once again I am writing heading over here, public deposits. As we just covered meaning of public deposit, it is over, and now let's study the features of public deposits. In features, the first point is unsecured. Dear students, while explaining the meaning, it may happen that some student might have thought about the security. So the answer is unsecured. Means what? The deposits which the company is accepting, they are not secured against the assets of the company, that is fixed assets of the company. That's why we are saying that the nature of public deposit is unsecured. What does this mean that unsecured? Means what? If in future the company is unable to refund the deposit accepted from the public, then in such a case the public will not have option that they can sell the assets of the company and they can recover the deposited amount. Means what? They will not have such option. Why so? Because it is unsecured. It is not secured. No fixed assets or no the property of the company is mortgage against the deposits which a company is accepting from public. The next feature, finance of working capital. The second one is working capital. I am writing in short, the heading is like this, finance of working capital. I am just starting over here, working capital. Means what? Normally the companies which accept deposits from public, then it is utilized by the companies as working capital. You must know, I hope you know very well that what is the meaning of working capital. Working capital means that capital which companies need for their routine expenses, for their day-to-day expenses. Even I had explained you the meaning of working capital in my earlier videos when I had started this chapter, Sources of Business Finance. Once again, those who still don't know the meaning of working capital, I am telling you, working capital means what? The capital or the expenses or the funds which are required for the working of the company, for day to day working of the company. कंपनी को या बिजनेस को वर्किंग कंडीशन में रखने के लिए जो फंड्स रिक्वायर्ड होते हैं उसी को बोलते हैं वर्किंग कैपिटल. सो आई होप द मीनिंग ऑफ वर्किंग कैपिटल इज क्लियर टू ऑल ऑफ यू. So like this we covered the first two features of public deposits. The third one which we are going to discuss is time period. So dear students, time period, public deposit can be inverted by companies for a period of 6 months to 3 years. Time period, the third point I am writing over here. Third one is time period. Here we have to mention that for how many period the companies can accept the deposits. So it is 6 to 3 years, means minimum 6 months and maximum 3 years for that the companies can accept deposits. The fourth point which we are going to discuss today as a feature of public deposits is a simple procedure, and fifth one is a repayment procedure, simple procedure. The fourth one we are talking about procedure. Dear students, the procedure of accepting deposits, I told you while explaining the meaning itself that how public deposits are accepted by the companies. One advertisement is given in the leading newspaper. Listen it very carefully. It is very simple to understand. Advertisement is given in the newspaper, and in that advertisement the required information is given to the public. After reading that advertisement, by filling the prescribed form, those forms are also given by the company itself, no doubt in that. So by filling the form, the interested persons can deposit their money with the company, and the company will pay them fixed rate of interest. Time period we discuss over here, that minimum 6 months and maximum 3 years. The last point of our discussion today, I am writing over here, fifth one, repayment. Here we are talking about repayment, that how it will be repaid. So very simple, as the procedure of accepting public deposit is simple, so the procedure of repayment is also simple. On the expiry of the stipulated period, the mentioned period, the company will repay the accepted deposit to the depositors. If the company is unable to pay, then we have already discussed that it is unsecured. A company which has public deposits is required to set aside the 10%. Here there is one rule regarding the companies, that every year, means keeping in mind, say for example ABC Company Limited, attend here please everybody. Say for example ABC company is there, and ABC company has accepted the deposit. So a rule is followed that this ABC company will set aside 10% of their profits every year. Means what? The reserve will be maintained by the company, fund will be maintained by the company. Say for example ABC company has accepted deposits for 3 years, and they know very well that after 3 years we have to make payments, or it may happen that they have accepted the number of deposits. So the 10% they have to maintain, set aside 10% of the deposits maturing by the end of the year. the amount so set aside can be used for repaying the public deposits. So it was the entire thing, the all thing about the public deposits. Students, today we will stop over here. Today in this lecture I covered two sources of borrowed funds, means our main topic is borrowed fund, and under the heading of borrowed funds we first cover the trade credits and second one the public deposits. So like this up to now, means in this period we have covered both the things. I hope you must have understood the trade credits as well as the features of the meaning and features of public deposits. So that's all for the day. Enjoy yourself, and once again thank you very much for your kind cooperation. That's all for the day.